Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Deep True Crime, where we like to dive deep into those cases that you should be made aware of. Because truth is, at the end of the day, we don't know how bad people can really be until you hear cases like these. And in today's episode, I'm going to share with you the story of Aiden Fucci, who is currently in a detention center in jail where he is being charged with the murder. And it is such a sad thing because truth is, at the end of the day, this stuff shouldn't happen. So he takes the life of Tristyn Bailey, someone he went to school with. And that's what makes this also more terrible of a story. Because again, this stuff shouldn't happen, should it? But here is the truth. On Sunday, May 9th of 2021, families all over were celebrating Mother's Day when the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office announced it was searching for Tristyn Bailey. She was reported missing by her family that morning. What a Mother's Day to spend there, huh? Deputies said that she was last seen the day before on May 9th, or should I say that morning of May 9th, about 1:15 in the morning at the Durbin Amenity Center. And so she was last seen at that time wearing a white cheerleader skirt and a dark colored shirt. And so they're looking for her. A Florida missing child alert was issued for Tristyn. And so this alert is when a child is missing and is believed to be in life-threatening danger. Even though there was no indication that the child had been abducted, it's just weird that at 1:15 last time seeing her in the morning. And she was only 13 years old at that time, which also makes this a little more disturbing. So, we don't really know, did she sneak out of her house? There's a good chance she didn't have permission at that age to be out. She was only 13 years old. And that's where we're going to be diving into this case because this stuff shouldn't happen. And so Aiden Fucci, now he is in jail for this terrible crime. Now, granted, he has pled not guilty, and this is set for trial in November of 2022. But as you'll follow this video a little more, you'll know why this is a guilty kid. And so there's a lot that has come about since this has happened in May 9th of 2021. And so the family, they were looking all over for Tristyn because the last time they saw her was about midnight at that time. After an exhausting search by the sheriff's office and the neighborhood and all the people there, Tristyn's body was found. And, funny, I wouldn't say funny, not the right word, but there were two different homes that were taped off in the community. And when I say taped off, I mean they had do not cross type tape all around it. And so the St. John's Sheriff's Office, they were saying there's a lot of people in this community we are talking to. Aiden Fucci, who was only 14 years old at the time and went to school with Tristyn Bailey, when they arrested him, he was facing a second-degree murder charge that has since been upgraded, and he's now being charged as an adult. And her body was found by a resident who saw in the news that people were looking for her. So he decides to go look for her as well to help. And he finds her body in a wooded area. And allegedly, according to the St. John's Sheriff's Office, there were multiple crime scenes involved, and this is why there were multiple homes that were taped off. And Aiden, he attended Patriot Oaks Academy, which is a kindergarten through 8th grade school on Longleaf Pine Parkway. He attended this school with Tristyn, and they both grew up in this neighborhood. And so now he has been in jail for a little while now, and we are now looking more because, see, at first this was a missing child case, and that's when it was upgraded to endangered and how she was in trouble and they didn't know where she was. And so it was quickly upgraded to more because he wasn't arrested right away. It took a little time before they arrested him. Not much, though. So now when Aiden appeared in court, it did look like he was trying to fight off tears as the judge was formally charging him with second-degree murder. Now, the purpose of the second-degree murder at that time was in order to hold him. They need reason to hold him. And so the second-degree murder would be a reason to hold him. And so the judge, they ordered Aiden to stay in a juvenile detention for 21 days until the state attorney makes their decision on whether he would be charged as an adult. And he has since been charged as an adult. And Tristyn, she had been stabbed over 100 times, including in the scalp. Rest in peace, Tristyn Bailey, taken way too soon in this world. And so on May 17th of 2021, a motion to withdraw as counsel was filed by Jacksonville attorney Anwar Snober, who had been retained to represent Aiden. Probably a good chance he knew that he didn't want to represent this guy because it was not looking good at all. But I don't know. I'm just guessing. But the motion did state that Snober had discussed the matter with the defendant and his parents, and both were in agreement as to withdrawal of counsel. And so another motion was also filed in the case to determine that the Fucci family's indigency status, meaning that they could not afford any representative. And so they couldn't afford a lawyer to defend the teen in court. And they did get him a public defender. Now, May 18th, Tuesday, 2021, a celebration of life was held to honor Tristyn Bailey. And this is where it's so sad. So young. She absolutely loved being a cheerleader. I mean, she loved it. She talked about it all the time. And so they had a celebration of life to honor the life of Tristyn. Several people attended the memorial at Celebration Church in Jacksonville wearing aqua and white, which was the teen's favorite color. And so now Aiden, he is charged as an adult in this case. And so we only will continue to find out more as to what will end up being. My guess is he's going to plead guilty to something before the trial, but we'll see. Because there, again, and let me not jump the gun here, but this charge that I told you about, which was first a second-degree murder, it has been upgraded to premeditated first-degree murder because he had a knife in his pocket as he was walking with her, and I'll show you that as well. So it looks like he was planning on this. He even told his girlfriend at this time that he had a lot of feelings of wanting to kill someone. And so the girlfriend's name has never been mentioned. I could not find her name. It doesn't really matter. She's a kid. And so, when he first appeared before a judge Following the announcement that he would be charged as an adult, the judge said his first-degree premeditated murder charge is a capital felony punishable by life or death, which means that he could get the death penalty because he is tried as an adult. My guess is it won't get that far, but you never know. Because Aiden is a juvenile, death is not an option, but the charge carries a maximum penalty of life in prison. My guess is that's what will end up happening. Of course, he is being held without bond, and he enters a plea of not guilty. And so now we wait to see more. But come to find out, Aiden's mother, Crystal Smith, she was charged with tampering of evidence because of what she did in her part of this when he comes home. And so she did turn herself in. She has since been released, but according to the arrest warrant, Smith washed the jeans Aiden was wearing when deputies say he killed 13-year-old Tristyn. And the warrant says Smith was present on May 9th while Aiden was being interviewed by investigators about Tristyn's death. After her son left with deputies, surveillance cameras inside the house captured Smith going into Aiden's room, grabbing a pair of jeans, then scrubbing the jeans in a bathroom sink. Investigators say she returned the jeans to Aiden's room a couple of hours later. Let me show you the footage on this that was captured. You can see her there in the bathroom cleaning his jeans. And that is his mother, Crystal Smith, there. And you can see where she was literally cleaning his jeans. And you'll learn a little more here in a second, but that is where it's like, okay, definitely not looking good for her. And so she has since been arrested as well. And again, as I mentioned, she has been released. The jeans were found while investigators searched Aiden's home because they got a warrant to search everything that they can, and that's where they found those jeans. And according to the warrant, they tested positive for blood. And as I showed you, she was in the bathroom. The drain in the sink where investigators say Smith washed the jeans also tested positive for the presence of blood. And so that's where she has been charged with tampering with evidence. And tampering with evidence is tampering with justice. And truth is, that's a big deal. Now, granted, I do personally believe she needs to be held accountable for this, but I don't blame her. I do not blame her, because truth is, we know mama bears want to protect. Now, I could tell you different stories where, I know a very personal, close person to my life. She had, her son was either selling drugs or had some drugs in his room or something like that. She did call the cops on him. In her mind, that was her way of helping fix him. Truth is, he went on to do bigger and worse things. And so I get the mama bear wants to protect, but did you really think you'd get away with this? Well, if you don't watch true crime, you probably think you can get away with this stuff. Because believe me, not that I've ever had to wash blood out. Personally, I didn't think blood could come out of clothing. I remember when I was 7 years old, 8 years old. I'm not too sure. Maybe 10 years old. Maybe around 10 years old. I was learning how to ride my bike without any hands. It was the first time, and my bike kind of took a little turn on me, and I lowered my head and I hit this bar, and I had blood drenching. And I was loving that shirt, even though it was my brother's shirt. I was loving that shirt. Could never get the blood out. Couldn't get the blood out. It was gone. Well, there was so much blood on it anyway. But why did she think she would be able to get blood out of that? I could not tell you on that one. And so I have to say that I feel in learning about this, I have to say the St. John's Sheriff's Department, they've done an incredible job of digging into this and really getting all their resources out there in order to find out what happened to Tristyn Bailey. So I have to say, I really will commend them. They did a great job. And so now Crystal Smith, she will be held responsible for her role in this case, and justice will be served. And that's, and it needs to be. It needs to be. Because truth is, they have a lot of evidence against Aiden Fucci. And so the state attorneys, they have released a list of witnesses and evidence collected in the investigation into who was at that time 14-year-old Aiden. And so the list which is called Discovery, includes names of 154 potential witnesses. And the witnesses include law enforcement from the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office and Florida Department of Law Enforcement analysts, people who were present during statements made by Fucci, like his mother, Crystal Smith, who is now facing a charge of evidence tampering in connection to Tristyn's killing, and St. Johns County medical examiner, what they have, the exhibits listed in the state's discovery, they have audio recordings with Aiden Fucci, with Crystal Smith, as well as Tristyn's parents. They have downloaded content of cell phones for Smith and Fucci's father, Jason Fucci, which I'll talk about him a little bit as well. They have submitted into evidence shoes and t-shirt collected for Fucci. They have results from phone subpoenas for Fucci, Jason Fucci, as well as a person identified as TB. Not too sure who that is. They have Aiden Fucci's school records, which are listed as 42 PDF files. They have search warrants for the phones of Fucci and his parents, Fucci's Snapchat, as well as the Instagram and Snapchat accounts for TB, again, whoever that is. They have 5 video files and 2 JPEG files from Snapchat. They have surveillance videos from Fucci's residence. They have neighborhood videos from different locations. And so, this is where it's like, it's really, really tough. And so, here she is. She's reported missing on Mother's Day. She's found dead later that day in the Durbin Crossing neighborhood. And so a day later, police announced the second degree charge, which has since been upgraded. And now we have to wait to see a little more. But here is a little more evidence as to what he has said or what he has done. So here he is in the back of a police car with a friend doing a video acting like, hey, if anyone's seen Tristyn Bailey.
We're having fun in a fucking cop car.
Yep. Tristyn.
What's up, guys?
Yep.
Tristyn, if you fucking walk out the damn...
When you see this in a month...
You can hear them, Tristyn, when you walk out. I don't know what else was left, but it was more like help find her. Only to find out he already knew. Look at how much remorse he's showing. Right? He's not showing much remorse.
We're having fun.
He actually looks kind of proud.
Cop car.
Yep. Tristyn.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Tristyn, if you fucking walk out the damn...
When you see this in a month,
I mean, they let him have it. They let his friend have the car, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. I had a picture here too. I don't know what I did with that. So now we have to wait to find out what else are we going to find out about this, right? What else are we going to find out about this? Because here is more of behind. This is his Snapchat where he takes a selfie. He takes a selfie of himself. Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristyn lately? He takes that selfie of himself in the back of this. This is his Snapchat account. That's his Snapchat account. He really is not, I mean, he's acting pretty proud if you ask me about this whole ordeal, which is also adds more sickening to it. But to even further bring proof, here is the night of this, of the night that she went disappearing. You can see the two of them. This is Aiden and Tristyn walking down the road. There they are. They are walking. Over an hour later, you can see him running back with his shoes in his hands. There he is arriving home with his shoes in his hand. That's him walking up to his home with his shoes in his hand. You can see him running with those shoes in his hand, and there's his mother cleaning his jeans. And that's where it says the blue jeans tested positive for the presence of blood. This is not looking good for him, and this is where it's also showing that the blood, the drain of the bathroom sink tested positive for the presence of blood. It's not looking good at all. Now, do I believe Crystal will spend time in prison? I do not. And so you can see in the home there are people in there. Those people have been interviewed by the police. And again, now they're witnesses. They're witnesses now in this case. This is what I mean. There's no way this dude is going to be getting away with this. There is no way. And here he, you saw how he was acting first. I showed you guys that. And then when he is on a Zoom, now he's acting like, I know you demons killed my soul. He's literally acting like he's not all there. That, I promise you, is an act. Literally, that's an act he's putting on to help him with, probably a self-defense of insanity or whatever he's going to later try to do. What's going on? Why am I here? I just want to talk to my mom and dad. And, this is all part of it. What's going on? Stuff you can't understand. Demons taking my soul. You demons take my soul away. My guess is someone in prison probably was like, act crazy. Because you took the life of this wonderful little girl who had so much life to live. And this is part of the forest where he left her body with over 100 stab wounds. And the voices told him to kill people when he was angry. One of the witnesses are saying this is what he told them. So it's definitely not looking good for Aiden. And this is why there's no doubt in my mind he is guilty. See how he's just acting like he's not all there? What's going on? Where am I? Well, behind the back of the cop car, you seem to be all there having fun, enjoying what you did. I'm just not buying it. My friends, if this is the type of content you like, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that notification bell, and then that lets YouTube know you got some value. Every time I upload content, you'll get notified. And so now we wait to see what other developments will come about. But his dad, his self has been in trouble in the past. Here his dad is at a young age when he was in trouble as well. See, his dad, Jason, was jailed for child abuse years before his son stabbed Tristyn Bailey to death. Filings that show that Jason Fucci, who was 18 at the time, was guilty of engaging in sexual activity with a 15-year-old female at his home. 15. Granted, if she's 18 and you're 3 years older, no problem. But 15 and 18, to me, that's a problem. And he served a little bit of time for that. And so the second count showed he did knowingly or willfully abuse a child by intentionally committing an act that could reasonably be expected to result in physical or mental injury to a person under the age of 18 years old. Jason, he was sentenced to 2 years probation, but was later jailed for 14 months after violating the conditions. So his rap sheet also includes a number of other run-ins with the law. This is his rap sheet. That's his rap sheet. And so he had a number of run-ins with the law with charges for theft and driving with a suspended license. He was also booked in 2016 for battery after cops claimed he got into a fight at a gas station with a couple while his son was present. We don't know if it was Aiden that was a son. He did have 3 other kids. One is a junior, Jason Fucci Jr. And so this is where it's like Aiden Fucci, the hearing, we are finding some shocking things about him and his mom on what they did after he stabbed Tristyn Bailey 114 times. And so in the days following her death, her accused killer, he boasted of having fun in the back of a police car, which I showed you that, and also saw his own mom arrested. And so now that he's facing this first-degree murder, more is coming out, of course. And so now we're finding out a little more as to what has happened. And so an autopsy did show that Bailey, whose body was found near Fucci's home in St. John's, Florida, that she had fought for her life. She was trying to fight this guy, and not be killed. This is such a heartbreak and just makes me want to cry, but I got to do this, right? Because you never know who you're trusting your kids with. And if you're that parent who just is laid back, you better be careful for what they're capable of doing. And so right away, prosecutors turned their attention to Fucci, who did attend school with Tristyn, and now he's tried as an adult. And so this footage that I showed you, he shared a clip to Snapchat, and he put having fun in cop car. No remorse. No remorse. I showed you the clip where prosecutors allege his mom, Crystal Smith, washing blood off of her son's jeans. Now that's why she is being charged. And so Fucci had told friends that he was going to kill someone within the next 30 days before Tristyn was killed. And so that's where he says he's going to take someone into the woods and stab them. A witness will be sharing this in this trial because he told someone that I'm going to take someone into the woods and stab them, only to later do it. And so a search of the teen's room, they found the buck knife sheath and a pair of shoes and shirt with blood on them. That buck knife that he stabbed her 114 times actually broke. And so police say they also found several pocket knives and a homemade shank. The type that they do, that prisoners create in prison. And so this is where the victim, she was found with karma on ankle. Yeah, it was written on her. Her body was found with karma. It was just written on her ankle. And this word was just written in blue ink on her left ankle, while a smiley face was drawn on the inside of her right ankle. And so it is not known who is responsible for the drawings yet. So so far, no one else has been charged with this. So we don't know if there was a friend with him or what. We don't know. And so in August, Snapchat video footage released by the cops showed Fucci and a friend saying we're having fun in a cop car. But we don't know if that friend is related to this. We don't know. But, maybe he didn't know that he did this, or maybe he is now a witness. But they each mention Tristyn, with Fucci saying, Tristyn, if you effing walk out the damn. But that was about it. And the friend suggesting she would see this in a month. Let me play that again for you.
We're having fun in a fucking cop car.
Yep. Tristyn.
What's up, guys?
Yep.
Tristyn, if you fucking walk out the damn...
When you see this in a month.
Do you hear where his friend says when you see this in a month? So maybe his friend didn't know anything. I don't know. More will come out about that. And in the second video, Aiden is saying they've got us in a effing cop car. Tripping, dude. The video then cuts out. And so now we wait to see what will happen to Crystal Smith for tampering with evidence. We'll wait to see what happens on that. But there have been some sick claims around this. See, prosecutors say Fucci told friends he wanted to take someone into the woods and stab them, which doesn't help them. And he allegedly made this comment to several people that he intended to kill someone. He didn't say who that was, but he indicated that he was going to kill someone by taking them into the woods, then stabbing them, and then you have this. And so his friends literally are interviewed saying, discussing his comments about wanting to stab someone. One friend told cops that a month before Bailey's murder, Fucci had talked about bringing someone in there. So it's not looking good for him. Aiden would draw graphic pictures depicting mutilated bodies. He just started, it was just a matter of time. If anyone saw these pictures beforehand, did they report it? Another friend said Fucci heard voices when he was angry that he would tell him to kill people. And that's what, Aiden knew something was wrong with him and wanted to reach out for help. That, I believe, might have been the girlfriend. Not too sure on there. Now, on the night of Tristyn's death, the pair had been hanging out. Tristyn and Aiden had been hanging out with a few friends before they were eventually left alone together. Fucci is said to have told cops he pushed 13-year-old Tristyn to the ground after she grabbed his penis. No one knows if that's true. No one knows if that's true at all. Fucci is said to have told cops an argument erupted between the pair as they walked back from a friend's house in the early hours of the morning. So maybe maybe she snuck out of her home, you know, as kids do. I could remember me sneaking out when I was a teenager to go hang out with my friends and then sneaking back in and, you know, leaving my bike in the front room so my aunt didn't know. And so that's where it's like, I mean, really, did she do that? I don't know if I'm believing him on that. He told authorities that he pushed her hard to the ground and she hit her head. And so he said he left her there. Well, how did she end up with 114 stab wounds, huh? And so that's where, you know, you can see if that was true, how do we get the video of him walking her, right? How do we get this? That's the wrong one. How do we get this video of him walking her if that was true, right? Because, it did not look like that would be true there. And so this is where it's like, you know, he is seen walking with her. And then before you know it, he is seen running back from where they were just walking. So if he left her on the ground after she grabbed his penis, he didn't see this video coming, did he? He definitely didn't see that this video would be coming back to prove that any more lies you want to keep sharing? And so now, you know, now basically what will happen? We are going to have to wait and find out. And so that's about all we know until we know more. My friends, thank you for joining. Make sure that you smash that subscribe button, hit on that like, click on that notification bell. That way when I upload content, you get notified. My friends, I'm Manny Rodriguez with Deep True Crime. And as always, if you got a case you want me to cover and dive deep into it, my goal is to only get better at this. So the more practice I get, the better I will continue to get. I'm Manny Rodriguez. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to serving you again. Be careful out there. There are some crazy ones. Peace.